Hey, Eric, good to see you again.
Hey, what's going on?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. So, what did you see yesterday that you kind of liked best?
Man, I would just say like the earning potential and the fact that we're helping families at the same time. It seemed pretty cool that could be linked together.
Can go side by side,
right.
yeah. I was in the healthcare field. I was in in-home healthcare actually, and there wasn't a lot of money in it, but I was passionate because I was helping people. And so at this, it was, I was still able to feel that same impact of helping, but now we're highly compensated. So I can totally relate big time. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking about our training system today. And in our training system, our OBS is what we call it. We're going to be talking about promotions, we're going to talk about products, we're going to talk about our compensation, and we're going to talk about our OBS business system itself. Outside of those four main areas, do you have any questions on anything else?
No, actually.
No? All right, perfect. So I'll just get right into it then. So with our training, you'll see here that we have a couple of classroom trainings. The first one's going to be on Tuesday. It's from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that's more of our systems training. So those four main areas that we just talked about, those will really be covered there. So compensations, promotions, marketing strategy, things like that. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay.
Now our other classroom training is going to be on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and that's going to be more of a products training. So the types of programs and products that we offer, how they work, why they would work for specific families and specific situations, things like that. And it'll give you a chance to kind of ask some questions as well. It's kind of like an open forum classroom. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome.
I'm glad that you guys have that for sure.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
was wondering how I was going to learn about those.
I am not from the industry, so yeah, it was very helpful for me. Now, we also do field training. And this is more of an on-the-court training. That's the way I like to describe it. So I don't know about you, but I'm more of a hands-on type learner. And so that's really where you're going to get this hands-on training here is through our field training appointments. Now, with our field training appointments, the way it's structured is it's actually a 2-appointment setup, okay, and a 2-appointment system. And the reason why we do that is because what our first and foremost mission is number one, to educate clients, but number two, to not be so pushy with them, right? To not kind of make them feel uncomfortable. We want to respect them and really just make sure that, they understand that we're just here to help them in every single way that we possibly can. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Awesome. Excellent.
I'm glad it's that way.
Yeah, definitely. So now in between the first and second appointment, you'll actually see here that we have an opportunity, and you'll be on this first appointment, you'll be sitting down with a field trainer. So you'll actually be sitting down with somebody who has experience in the business. You'll get to see how they talk with clients, how they interact, how they just kind of engage with them and answer the questions that the client may have.
Okay.
Now, in between this first and second appointment, you're actually going to go back to the office and meet with your field trainer. And on this first appointment, you're not going to be talking too much. Rather, what you're going to be doing is if you have any sort of questions or anything that you kind of see, you're going to be writing those things down, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in between the first and second appointment, when you go back and meet with your field trainer, there's a couple of different things you're going to be going over. First and foremost, the questions that you may have observed or things that you kind of were a little bit unsure about and had questions about in that first appointment, you'll be able to kind of ask those there. Then you'll also see our software and how exactly to build a plan, how it works, things like that. And then, of course, you'll get a chance to kind of see how the programs work and how it's going to kind of help that family. Does that make sense?
It all makes sense, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Now, on that second appointment, on the first appointment, essentially, after we get done educating clients, more times than not, what they want to do is actually want to do a financial needs analysis with us. Because a lot of times, they really don't have too much information on how finances work, and they're really kind of lost, right?
Right.
And it's like when we come along and educate them and kind of present some things to them that may help them hit the goals that they otherwise thought they couldn't hit, they're a lot more likely to, kind of want to see what we have to offer and see how we can kind of bridge those gaps.
Oh, okay.
So when we go back on that second appointment, again, you're not going to be talking. You're just going to more so be observing and seeing how the field trainer kind of relates to the client, explains the program, and kind of walks them through the paperwork, things like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, when you're going through these field training appointments, I kind of want you to wear two hats. And what I mean by that is you are absolutely going to be learning and on-the-court training, but eventually you're going to be the person training some of the newer people as well. So I want you to kind of look at it from that perspective where not only are you observing how the presentation's done, but you're also kind of making it your own as well. Does that make sense? Awesome. Do you have any questions on the field training appointments at all?
No, I mean, it makes sense. That's good. I get a chance to see some appointments first.
Yeah, definitely. And then what you'll notice is on these field training appointments, it's really just going to cement the information that you learned during the classroom times on Tuesday and Saturday. So these are absolutely very important, the Tuesday and Saturday trainings, but you'll find that these field training appointments is really where it's going to cement the information for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, in regards to the field training appointments, we do require all agents do 10 of them. Okay? Now, simultaneously, while you're going through your 10 field training appointments, you're also going to be getting your licenses as well. I'll go through that in a second. Now, after you're done with these 10 field training appointments, 10 is not all you can go on. You can go on as many field training appointments as you'd like. So if after the 10th one, you're still not feeling like you have all the information, or maybe you do. Maybe you're like, hey, I'm a rock star. If you do, great. Then you can start going off on your own at that point in time. You won't be a field trainer. There's still some goals that you'll need to hit in order to become a field trainer. But now you'll just have the ability to go off on your own if you do feel comfortable. If you don't, you'll still have the option to go out with a field trainer and do a lot more than 10. Make sense?
Oh, okay. So I can do as many as I want?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good.
Now, as I mentioned, after those 10 training appointments, you can go off on your own and, start presenting this yourself. Now, just because you are going off and presenting this by yourself doesn't mean that you're not going to have help. And what I mean by that is you're still going to treat the first and second appointments exactly the same as you would if you were a training associate with us. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get a canned presentation, you're going to gather some information, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go back with your field trainer and you're going to build a plan and you're going to present it, and that's at that point in time what you'll notice is that the field trainer is going to kind of throw some curveballs at you. He's going to ask you some questions and kind of make it a little bit tough for you, but that's a good thing. And the reason why is because it's going to build confidence in yourself when you go back on that second appointment, number one. And then number two, as you're kind of building these plans and building confidence in the plans and you're seeing how they're helping families, it's really building a belief level in what it is that we do for our families. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, one thing I do want to touch on is in between this first and second training appointment, when you're going back and meeting with your field trainer, one of the things your field trainer is actually going to look for is that you reach out to them for how to build a plan via the software and, kind of get back together with them between the first and second appointment and figure out a time when you can ask those questions and figure out how to build a plan and use the software. So we're more so entrepreneurs here. So what most of the field trainers are going to be looking for is for you to take initiative and say, hey, can we get together and kind of build this plan? Okay?
Oh, okay.
So you'll treat that the exact same way as if you're solo, as if you were going through the field training appointments. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool. Now, simultaneously, as I mentioned, while you're going through the field training appointments, you're also going to be getting your licensing as well. Mm-hmm. So I want to kind of show you what that would look like. So first and foremost with licensing, there's a membership agreement and then an operational ID that goes along with the licensing. That's really just to give you a code and an agent number with our organization. And then on top of that, too, we do a membership agreement that's just kind of going to make sure that you're on the up and up with things, that you're just a good person, which I would totally expect from you anyways. Next is going to be there are some requirements in regards to getting your license. First and foremost is going to be to take a test. Okay, that test itself is $44. We do have some free test material for you. The test material can just be emailed to you. That's going to be audios, videos, PDFs, and then practice exams as well. So it'll kind of give you a chance to study on your own time and whatever you're most comfortable with, audio or video. You'll have that right in there for the study material. Okay. Now, after you pass this, the test itself, and you pay that $44, you have to score at least a 70% to pass that. After you do that, you're going to go into the Arizona Department of Insurance, and then you're actually going to show them that certificate saying that you passed the test. And then it's $142 here in the state of Arizona to get that license registered. And then that license is yours. It's kind of like a nursing license, so you'll be able to kind of bring that with you, and you own that license. And so your name will actually be put on the Arizona Department of Insurance as a registered agent for insurance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. So the first step in the process is just to take care of that pre-screen membership agreement and operational ID. Are you ready to do that?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Awesome.